So again, you see this again, you know what I'm saying? So I saw that. So what I'm doing, looking for those type of opportunities now. I want to see where somebody doesn't want to live, like example in Kigali.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, Kibagabaga, Kimiharu, Kivu, Kyogo. Oh, these are nice places, okay? If I was gonna make an investment into Kigali right now, I would want to know where nobody's gonna live, and the price is dirt cheap. You know what I'm saying? I would want to buy in those areas. Wait, 3 or 5 years, and then you know what I'm saying. You would get the value of understanding and taking advantage of the opportunity.
Yes.
Niamata Burgesera District is the perfect example of that. The airport's gonna be built. You know what I'm saying? This is a future thing. Imagine when hotels and roads and commerce and landings and logistics go around, what's going to happen to that area? More jobs, people are going to be staying in that thing, you know what I'm saying? So coaching and education, youth sports and basketball, it's merged, and this what led to founding of the culmination of Azomco Global, which is basically a basketball consulting agency that provides team and player development. And then part of that program, or one of our programs, is our basketball team, which is the men's team now that was participating in Division 2. And then next year, the men's team is going to go to the Division 1, and then the women's team is going to start. And we're also trying to develop our U16 youth program, which is something that's really, really needed. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of youth who are interested in playing basketball in Rwanda. It's like, I'm willing to take the risk. It's the same thing, like games on the line. Okay, I can shoot the ball and it could go in, he could be the hero, or you can miss and, people will say, oh, you missed the last game, but I'm willing to take that shot. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome back to our podcast, Les Beaugars. It's me once again, Denko, your host, and I'm with my co-host, Fedo Kai. Fedo, what's up?
What's up?
You're good?
Yeah.
And as you can see, we have a new face right here.
What's up?
I call him Coach. I call him an entrepreneur. I call him a father. Another brother. What's up, Coach?
Man, what's up,
good?
Man? Thank you so much for having me, man.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure to be here with you guys today. You as well. And you call me whatever you want, man. We're all in this thing together,
Let's
man.
get started. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about exploring the career path beyond the athletic, like with different fields, about the basketball, about the entrepreneurship, and just everything like that. So, Coach, how are you doing?
I'm very, very good, man.
You're good?
Very good, yeah.
How is Rwanda treating you?
It's beautiful, man. Beautiful.
It's beautiful?
Yeah, it's beautiful, absolutely. The summer is nice. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Really, really enjoyable.
Congratulations for making it to
for reaching in Division 1. Shout out to Azomco.
Yes.
Shout out to Azomco Coach.
Man, all the players and the fans, the organization. It was a big accomplishment, something we worked hard for. And it's just a great achievement to be able to accomplish it in just 2 years.
Yeah, so, just 2 years.
We're going to finish off this Division 2 finals and then get ready for Division 1 for next season.
Yes.
We're excited.
So I think you have a game tomorrow and on Friday?
Yeah, game 2 is tomorrow, LDK at 6 p.m. And then Friday, game 3 will be on, I believe it's at Kepler at also 6 p.m. So hopefully, if all goes well, we can go ahead and secure that championship.
Yes.
And then, like I said, we'll worry about Division 1 for next, in the future. But for right now, our focus is trying to definitely lift that trophy up. Yeah.
Good luck, Coach. As you had it right, tomorrow, 6 p.m., right?
6 p.m. tomorrow,
6
man.
p.m.
Show up, man.
LDK.
Game 2 is going to be a good game.
Yes.
I know Kepler is going to continue to fight hard, so hopefully our boys can get it done tomorrow.
Yes. So pull up, guys. Pull up for Azomco Global.
Yes.
We have some friends there.
Yeah.
Nathan, you know Nathan?
Nathan.
Yeah. Nathan,
So-
one of the players.
Man, of course, man.
Yeah.
Really a pivotal player. He's a young kid, a lot of potential. I love Nathan's game.
Yeah.
I'm just really, really satisfied and happy about how he's progressed over the
Yes.
season. And he has a lot of potential. He's still very, very young,
Yes.
Your team is actually doing great.
Yeah.
Not many losses, just wins.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
wins.
we built a good team. We have a lot of young players. And then we have 2 imports. Foreign players, and we have one tall kid from South Sudan, from Juba,
Yes.
and then we have one from Gabon as well. But the rest of the other 12 are local Rwandese, and they worked hard, man. We got a good coach, and he established a system, and the players are buying into it. And we had a successful season. We qualified for the finals, which pushed us into Division One. And then now we're looking to secure the championship, and so it'll be a successful season if we're able to do
Just only
that.
good lucks.
Yeah, thank you so
Good
much.
lucks.
Yeah.
So about getting started, so I want to tell us about your personal journey, because he is a former basketball player.
Yeah.
You are you play in the US, right?
Yeah, all around the world.
All
man.
around the world,
NCAA,
right?
Yeah, so NCAA.
You are an entrepreneur. You are a coach.
Yep.
CEO and the founder of Azomco Global.
Yep.
So tell me more about your career.
So man, it's been a journey. I tell you, basketball has always been a part of my life ever since I was a little kid. I grew up in Seattle, Washington, in the USA, and my father actually played basketball. So he played 10 years in the NBA in the 70s. So
Okay.
Do you know his father?
well, it's old school,
Okay.
You go back, you see the guys with short shorts and the Chuck Taylor playing it.
I get it.
It's like, wow, how have the game changed, But
his name
that. So he played for Milwaukee Bucks, he played for the Houston Rockets, and he played for the Seattle Supersonics.
Did you get the ring?
No, he missed it twice. Imagine. With the year that Milwaukee, 71-72, Milwaukee, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Oscar Robinson, he was traded at half the midseason. He got traded to Houston. And then that team went on to win the championship. And then the year he retired from the Seattle Supersonics, the next year, in 79-80, they won the championship. So he missed the ring twice, but it's all good.
It's really good.
So anyhow, I grew up, basketball in my blood. And, I went to NCAA where I excelled, and then I was able to play professionally first in Germany, Amsterdam, Brazil. Then I went to the Middle East in Kuwait, and then finally in Qatar. And while I was playing, I actually got involved into youth development. So it was always something I've been passionate about. So during the summers, like a normal contract for a professional player would probably run from September to April, May-ish, depending on if your team makes a playoff or not. So you would have a lot of dead time over the summers, June, July, August, And so a lot of guys have summer leagues or do personal individual workouts, try to get better, which I did as well. But I was also wanted to make an impact off the court. So we started a nonprofit organization called Back to Basics Kids Foundation. And we used to use basketball as a tool to help inner city youth. I was based in Atlanta, Georgia, where there was a lot of, lack of opportunities and lack of kind of constructive activities for youth in Atlanta. So we had summer programming, then we had after school program, and that ran off almost for about a decade. So I originally got a lot of experience from the youth development aspect and then merging it with basketball. So now to fast forward, I was also coaching in Qatar as well, which is also important. After I got done playing, I kind of got done playing in 2016. Then I got my master's degree in education, which also helped because
that's good.
Understanding how players to motivate players and students is very similar. You know what I'm saying? So it helped me as a coach to really, really have some strategic approach to motivation, and differentiation between players and stuff. So coaching and education, youth sports and basketball, it's merged, and this what led to founding of the culmination of Azomco Global, which is basically a basketball consulting agency that provides team and player development. And then part of that program, or one of our programs, is our basketball team, which is the men's team now that was participating in Division 2. And then next year, the men's team is going to go to the Division 1, and then the women's team is going to start. And we're also trying to develop our U16 youth program, which is something that's really, really needed. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of youth who are interested in playing basketball in Rwanda. Of course, they have clubs. Of course, they have schools. Of course, they have, other types of institutions. But we're trying to form a really, really, strong talent development academy in Rwanda that's going to lead help assist the country's development. You know what I'm saying? Try to produce some national team players and such. So that's what we're trying to do, man. It's come across pretty quickly in retrospect, but we're excited about where it's heading, and we're excited about what the impact we're making.
So, is Azomco only in Rwanda? Or?
Yeah, for now, Azomco's only in Rwanda.
So why did you start with Rwanda?
I don't
why
know.
Rwanda? What motivates you to?
I kind of see well, I've been to Rwanda first in 2018,
Okay.
Oh.
and then we came back again in 2022.
Yes.
And when in 2020,
After COVID.
after COVID, well, during COVID, really, to be honest with you. Once when I landed, it was a lockdown outside.
Yeah.
Can't come outside the house. I think it was past 8 or something, 9
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah.
But the first basketball experience, when I came in 2018, I didn't have any experience with basketball.
Yes.
And the first time I came in 2022, it was a friend of I acquainted, and he was saying he wanted to try out for the Patriots.
Yes.
And he said, "Oh, you play basketball? You're a coach. Can you help me?" I said, "Okay." And I'll go down there. It was at Petite State. The Patriots were having training, and he wanted for me to give his feedback about his performance and whatnot, try to help him. So I did that. Practice was at 7, and I told him, I said, "It's important that you arrive early. Let's get there at least a half hour." So we arrived, 6:15, 6:30, and there was I think it was, I don't know what, there was a volleyball team practicing, women's volleyball. The men's volleyball was on the side, and then there was a basketball, small youth basketball training academy who was dribbling in the parking lot.
Oh.
So inside the gym, you had the women's volleyball team practicing.
Volleyball,
you had
basketball.
the men's basketball team waiting. Then you had the kids outside, and then the Patriots are coming in for their play at 7. So I was just like, wow, the court is very, not a lot of access to the thing. And what happened was Patriots started practice maybe at 8 p.m., so it was delayed. And then, but as I noticed basketball, I immediately noticed that there was a good need for, coaching, high level coaching. And so that's something that, I kind of viewed as an opportunity to help with my background of over 25 years of basketball experience. And then, so it was like, that was it. I saw that. And then we knew that we wanted to, develop it into something that was going to be sustainable and really make impact.
So we should be thanking that guy.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Well, yeah, I guess so. But to be honest though, it's like even within that time, like you meet somebody else, you meet somebody. The network has expanded very rapidly. So
some connections.
Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, it goes back to that was my first basketball experience.
So
shout out to Nicholas.
It's Nicholas.
Right. Shout out,
Nicholas. Yeah.
So you said you started following Rwandan basketball in 2022.
Yeah.
So well, it's not a lot of years, but when you first came to Rwanda and now, how do you see basketball has changed? Did it change at all?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. I think it's moving in the right direction. Even just in terms of the facilities, I remember that year the games were outside of Petite State, right outside BK Arena, and that court that was out there. Yeah, and that was where all the games were played. Now you look at it now, an LDK is, it's an indoor gymnasium. It's a better environment. You can fit more fans in. It's more, you don't have to worry about outdoor, the rain coming in and stopping the game. So, and then of course, the teams have become more competitive.
Yeah.
They're bringing better import players. There's more teams that's been added. So I think the growth is definitely trending up. I would also say that there's still room for improvement. I think we need, more coaching opportunities for coaches to get experience. And I think that we need more personal training, like in terms of skill development.
Yes.
Because I find out, like in the Division I league, there's, players who are, 25, 26, all the way in their mid 20s who are experienced players who still lack really basic fundamentals.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's hard to try to teach that player that at that age, but if you can get it earlier, 17, 18 years old, basic fundamentals, triple threat, defensive, proper defensive techniques and everything like that, that is really, really going to help them excel once they start getting their physical body ready and once they start getting more experience and stuff like that, So those are some things I see that needs improvements. But overall, it's definitely moving in the right direction.
Yes. Yeah. So talking about the coaching stuff, how can you tell us about the coaching philosophy in Rwanda as you can see?
That's a good question.
Is it because you can see like many coaches, you can see Coach Yusef.
Yeah.
We know you, but we can know you how they the coaching philosophy here is in Rwanda? Is it a coaching which is international or just local, regional? How can you see the coaching philosophy?
One thing I've kind of understood, because I'm kind of in a unique situation. I don't coach the team. Yeah. So I'm the president and founder, and I manage the team. I've hired a coach, a good friend of mine who has a lot of basketball experience. Mm-hmm. But me hiring that person, that position, it all stems from understanding basketball from my experience. So I know, especially last year, I've kind of know how do the players react? What type of players we need, what type of players we're looking at. And that's based off experience, So that's why I was able to make a quick kind of adjustment from last season to this season, understanding what it's going to take to move up to the Division I. Okay. So you can't really compensate for experience. Like, experience is like something that's very valuable. I just can't say, okay, let's try to get 10 years of experience really quick, but you have to experience it. You have to go through those experiences. So for the coaches and the philosophy, it needs to continue to develop, but it's only going to be developed from more experiences. Yes. So they need more coaching clinics. They need more opportunities for coaching, whether it's a youth team, more, international competitions. They need to play against different styles of play outside of Rwanda, or bringing those different styles to Rwanda, so it can, if you see a European team come in and play, it's different. Yes. So you're right. If it's only Rwanda, and then if it's only East Africa, your perspective is going to be limited. So it's not easy to develop a really phenomenal basketball philosophy with limited experience. So I would hope that we would just continue to build opportunities for coaches to be able to take advantage of to increase their experience.
Yes. So as you have seen, there are many teams where they have created to the Division I, but once they get there, we lost our players. Like, for example, if you are Azomco Global, you have some players like Nathan, like Bamidel, like David, but once they reach there, so they have to compete, and you come with another new players that we don't know. Yeah. So what can you say about that?
Okay,
so
absolutely.
For those people who those players,
and I was asked. I actually did an article for the New Times of Rwanda 2 days ago, and they asked the same question. They said, "What are your plans for Division I?" And so when are you going to start planning? I said, the planning was already happening before the season, and the fact that the players that we brought to the team this season that we put on our roster, we did that intentionally, with the intention to, let's see these young talents, we're going to practice them, we're going to train them, we're going to give them the fundamentals that they need. We want them to be able to develop to at least be competitive as either backup players or role players on our team in the Division I. Okay, we gave all of them opportunity throughout the course of the season, through training and through games, and we wanted to see which players were going to take that leap. Because we understand Division II is one thing, but when you go to Division I and they're bringing, American guards, professional players who are playing in the D League, and, guys who are playing in the BAL, it's a completely different nature, and you have to be prepared for it. So we needed them to understand that. Some of the players, they did good, they developed, and others, maybe it was a little bit more difficult for them. So we are planning to take a core group of the players from our current roster, adding a few local players who are currently playing in Division I, and then adding 2 imports as well to kind of solidify the roster. And our goal is not to come out and say, we're going to win out, go to the BL, beat all these big teams. No, we want to be competitive. Right? We want to compete. We want to compete. We want to, every game, we want to know that we have a chance to win. And then we also want to continue to develop these young talents, So even while this year we're being competitive, these kids are still getting experience. They're improving on their skills, and they're becoming better basketball players, which is going to help us in the future.
So we have good new styles in the game. Yeah.
But some of them will make it to the team. They made it to the first.
Yeah, some of them are going to come with us.
Okay,
that's good. Yeah. So Ariel, you have made something about the education and just moving to the basketball. So some people think like education is nothing when you have a talent. So tell us something about it.
What do you mean? When you're saying education, you mean like academics, or you saying
academics? Academics,
okay.
like diploma, as you have said, you have a master's degree, and you have contributed to the. You were a former basketball player.
Yeah.
So how can you balance that? Like you have a degree, and at the same time you are a basketball player.
Is it okay?
Is it
No, it's not okay to drop out. I mean, I think
is it a concept?
Yeah, we have 2 players on our team who we provide academic scholarships for.
Oh,
yeah. So two of our players, we won't say the names because I don't want to create any animosity to it. But 2 of our players on our team, we pay for the university fee.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that, it's opportunity, right? Because one, we're giving you opportunity on the court to, fulfill your basketball dreams and ambitions. But then secondly, it's also an opportunity to improve your life by having, education, being properly educated and getting those degrees and certifications and getting that experience as well, because the two is going to co-mingle. It's going to benefit the individual by when it's combined, you know what I'm saying? Yes. And I know being a American who's been living overseas for like the last decade and a half and being involved in basketball, I really, really understand the importance of the NCAA experience. The players who are able to go to college, universities and states and be able to play there, whether it's a small college or a big-time college. Yes. When they come back to Africa to play in the league, you can tell there's a difference. You know what I'm saying? And it is, and that's what I was just going to say. It's not just necessarily about basketball. It's about everything else they have experienced, because when you go to those coaches or trainings and practices about, in universities, there's nothing about me, this, that. It's only about the team.
Yes.
Only about the team,
Yes.
Team meetings, team practices, when you travel on the road, wearing the team outfits and uniforms, eating together, being on time, what I'm saying, teamwork, sportsmanship, discipline. All that stuff is engraved into the basketball program. Yes. That's why there's a difference when they come back, because they have experienced that, at a high level, both on the court and off the court. So I think it's very, very important, for character, to build character for young people to go to universities and to try to, pursue their degrees and stuff. And I think that, that's something that area that we're going to be looking to in the future to make a greater impact, probably through our youth 16 development program. We're looking to forge some partnerships and grow some relationships with maybe some schools or something where, we can kind of be able to develop talent while providing them academic opportunities as well.
Yeah. So you remind me back in the days when I was in high school. I used to play basketball too. And my father, we were acquiring agreement about, I went in the practices and skipped school sometimes. Yeah. And we were fighting, tell me, you have to bring me marks and I buy your shoes.
Yeah.
So that's the topic. So you made me to ask you the question about the challenges you made by transitioning your career to beyond athletic.
Okay, yeah, that's good. One, just the most obvious one, is missing the game. Missing playing, missing competition, here it is. You've been doing something all your life, even when you're younger. I remember younger playing basketball all day long. Wake up in the morning, maybe eat some cereal, eat some breakfast, go to the court. You're dribbling around, you're shooting, you're playing 1-on-1. Then here the guys come, you're playing 5-on-5. You win a game, you lose a game, you have to sit out. Then there's 2 other teams and you get back on the court. You're playing, before you know it, the sun's going down, So, and then the experiences and the relationships, teammates, being able to go to Egypt and go to training camp, go to Europe and Bulgaria and have a training camp and, doing all that stuff and different experiences and across the world and traveling, and then all of a sudden it didn't stop for me, it was like a progress. It wasn't like, a slow steady, I was able to make the decision. It wasn't like, I tore my knee up and it was like done one day, So I came to the conclusion that, I think probably for myself, my family, it's better to be more stationary, and not because, playing professional basketball, you got to go where whoever wants you.
Yes.
You know, I can't say, I'm going to play, this team wants to sign you in Iceland, for this team, or you go down to Australia, or you go to South Korea, or you go to Brazil, you go to Kuwait. You can't say you got to go where you got to go. So it's difficult to plan and difficult to have stability when you're you're just chasing opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah. So those are adjustments that definitely have to make.
So you told me about the skills and transferable experience, as in how your experience you have developed as an athlete has helped you to move on to another career.
That's a really good question. Really good question. And it's something that maybe when you were talking about relationship with your dad, maybe something that no offense, but your dad didn't really understand, right? That there is benefit from playing sport that's not just like quantitative,
Exactly.
It's qualitative, meaning the things, sportsmanship, discipline, teamwork, understanding hard work, developing a work ethic, being able to work together as a team, the same thing. You sit down in the office and you guys have a project and you need to get deadlines. You have something, or is a guy, you follow my idea and you do it like me, or you're so stupid, you can't do it. No, you don't want to pass the ball, it's just like stuff that you learn, then it makes it easier. So I think there's a lot of benefits of becoming a student athlete. And it's actually makes, the transition, quite easy. Like I notice how I deal with pressure, it's like, I'm willing to take the risk. It's the same thing, like games on the line. Okay. I can shoot the ball and it could go in, he could be the hero, or you can miss and, people say, you missed the last game, but I'm willing to take that shot. You know what I'm saying? So, it makes tougher easier with I see a lot of people, who not question, but I'm very confident in what we're doing because, like I said, I understand, I have a good understanding of basketball and have the experience. But I see some people who may not, they stuff gets lost in understanding. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's definitely a challenge, but something that can always be worked through.
So as we can see, there is, because I have been visiting your page on Instagram.
Yeah, very active. You are Azomco Global on Instagram. Yeah. Also LinkedIn. We have X, Facebook, YouTube channel. You can definitely subscribe to YouTube channel because it has all of our games. And it has like basketball tutorials.
Subscribe on their YouTube channel, Azomco Global.
Sure. Azomco Global, YouTube.
So I was about to ask you, about exploring different careers. You have a box at Qatar. You are a former basketball player. Yeah. You are a co-founder. It's not co-founder. You are a former the president of Azomco Global. So what are the resources and strategies that help you, you have come up while choosing a career?
I'll tell you one, hard work. Whatever.
Simple as that.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. I mean, I've thought about how many times people have said, I have an idea to do this. I have an idea to do that. What would be really good if we could do this, blah, 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 blah. And then it would work like this. And then, that's a good idea.
Working hard.
Right? But then what? Then 2 weeks later, a month later, 3 weeks later, nothing happens. Yeah. No action. Just talk. So, identifying opportunities, you know what I'm saying? And then really working hard to make sure that, you're building something that has value, create value. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be any type of sector, creating value, and then you just have to continue to produce good quality, just like anything else, or selling product is high quality basketball. But that's what separates us from, the rest of the, 18 teams, 20 teams in the Division II, is that we built and developed a brand of basketball that is different, from other clubs, and a lot of players are attracted to it. even in Division One, like a lot of players we have trained before, from players from Ray and Patriots and APR, they've came into the gym and worked with us because, all we're asking is just, you guys work hard.
Yes.
And you want to become a better basketball player. That's what we're here for. You know what I'm saying? So I think people are understanding that, and it'll be good, once we can lead towards having our own facility. That way we can really like gear it up and really, really have like good programming, have access to practice and trainings because it takes time for players to become good basketball players.
Yes.
So how do people identify those opportunities? Because some people are like, you had more opportunities than them. How not even like in just basketball, but in life. And how do people identify the opportunities they already have to get what they want? Yeah. Like they don't have much, but they can use that to get what they want.
I think that's a good point as well, right? And that's a really good point as well. I think one thing that doesn't for cost or like it's not an investment like you have to make are people. Right, you have a social network. You have a social network. Yes. You have people know people, and then those connections are able to create opportunities. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So using people and creating a good social network will allow opportunities to arise based upon, hey, I know somebody who works over here. I know somebody who works over here. I want this to be done. Maybe we can connect the two in order to where everybody can benefit and these connections can be made. So I think, people investing in yourself in terms of having confidence, understanding what you're trying to do, even if it's not having ambition, right? Having ambition. People, you don't get lucky. You know what I'm saying? It's, you're prepared for that moment, a moment arrived and then the opportunity, you took advantage of the opportunity. It just didn't happen there was a reason why you were there. Just, you weren't just like being down there and then something happened. So understanding the opportunities, identifying opportunities creating opportunities could be done through people. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Whatever people do, tap into their backgrounds, their expertise. And one of the things I'm learning now is to delegate more, tasks and responsibilities. I can't do it all. Making sure that, you give people, allow people to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like me, the relationship with the coach. I don't intervene into practices and say, hey, you guys should be running like this. You guys should be running like this. I have a conversation. We meet weekly and we say, hey, what do you think about this? We have a conversation. Okay, I see your point. Here's from my, you know what I'm saying? But allowing people to do their job and trusting in people has made me become more efficient because then I can really zero in on what I want to zero. But again, it comes from having people around who can help create, what we're trying to do.
Yes, that's a good thing. And back in the days where you were celebrating about reaching in Division 1, you were celebrating, the development of a team as a Azomco team, as a family, and you have mentioned about things of starting a Azomco Girls team.
Yep.
Tell us more about that.
Well, this is something that we're really excited about, actually. To be honest, before I started talking about Azomco Girls, this is to be honest. From my perspective of dealing with basketball in the last 2-3 years, I think, in terms of the country, I think that the Rwandan girls have more potential to do better at international competitions than the boys.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
How?
It needs development. Because the men, you guys are up against South Sudan, Tunisia, Senegal, Angola, Nigeria. It's very, very Congo, very different. You know what I'm saying? Very, very difficult. And if you look at, because I've looked at what has been invested already, right? A lot have been invested. Like take APR last year. A lot of has been invested in APR to do something, right? Yeah. And unfortunately, they weren't able to even like qualify for the ball. Yeah. What really has been invested for the women's? Not much. All they really have done so far is just bring a couple of quality players who are playing the NCAA. But there's no like women's, like, you know what I'm saying, development program.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? For the girls who say, okay, start playing basketball early, you know, here's some more team. You know, there's only one division of seven teams, or,
17.
you know? So there hasn't been a lot of focus, or hasn't been a lot of energy being centered around developing the women's game. And they're okay. You know what I'm saying? They always have those players who are coming back, really make an impact. But if you look at what they're bringing, I saw them playing last summer in I think it was the Afro
basketball, And
they had a decent team.
Yeah.
You know, they had a really decent team. They kind of fell off towards the end, but those games were competitive. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm thinking. You know, I'm seeing the Uganda, the Nigeria, the people the Cameroon who they played, and they're still competitive, but they haven't really been, you know, been focused on. So we're looking and we're excited. Layla Muganga is our Secretary General, and she's going to be the one that's spearheading our women's team. Something that she's very passionate about. And women's basketball is it's different than men's basketball, right? It's more technical. You know what I'm saying? So you don't, like, just because you can't just give the ball to somebody like KD, you know, he's 7 foot tall, you can go through and shoot from three. It doesn't work like that. Men's basketball, you can have these type of, phenomenal guys. Women's basketball is not. Every once in a while, you might get like somebody like the girl Caitlin Clark or something, can do that. But normally it's about team, about shooting, it's about ball movement, about technical back screen, very technical stuff where, girls can learn. Once you teach it, then it's just a matter of improvement. So that's what we're planning to do. We're planning to get a lot of young girls together. Maybe again, sprinkle 1 or 2, 3 of the girls who already played in the thing. Then maybe again bring some taller girls maybe from Uganda or South Sudan, and let those girls get experience. Let those girls develop. Let them train. Making sure they're good outside shooters. We get a good playmaker, and the league. We'll see. One thing about the girls' league also, you can see like the disparity between the good and the bad teams. My goodness, you have like APR beat a team 110 to 20. It shows that it's top heavy. Reg and APR, very good team. Kepler is playing a good team with hoops, but after that, it just drops off. So it would be good to have an Azomco in there to also be competitive. And to push the league up there. We can build talent and things. So yeah, we're excited about the girls, and it gives opportunities. Again, I get bombarded with all the women and girls. What about us? We want a team. And I'm like, okay, man. They're like, it's like they want it's so bad. This is good, but we want our team too. When is the girls team starting? Don't forget about us. That's what they're saying. A lot of interest, a lot of message. So we're going to try to captivate that and move forward. So we're excited about it, actually. Really.
So you're saying there are more opportunities in investing in women?
In women.
Because
in women basketball.
I wouldn't say investing. I'll say in the development of the national team.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, development of the national team.
So they're not like putting much into the women?
And the result they're getting is decent.
Yeah.
Whereas they're putting a lot into the men's and the results they're getting is decent.
Because they're up against...
or because, like I told you before, like you need to continue to develop.
Yes.
So for the women's, like I said, basically, it's not a lot of focus that we put in, and they're getting decent results. Like we'll see how the World Cup qualifier, they might struggle because their teams are good, but you can see, what I'm saying, more development will create better results, and I think that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, before we jump right away to the conclusion, I want to ask you, like, as we have seen, we have to see when we have two teams, like, for different gender, like male and female gender, who play in the same team. For example, when you were planning to start a women basketball team, it's not something which is going to, to be a challenge for you when it comes to financial capacity?
We hope and we expect that, the business community will get behind us. What is better in terms of visibility for a company, that not to give a sponsorship for an up and coming women's team, what I'm saying? Especially in the environment like Rwanda, where women's rights and gender equality is so revered after. You look at, government, you have a lot of women in high places, the Minister of Sport and, Claire, the former,
RDB.
Yeah, the RDB, now the NBA, Africa, I think VP or president. So we would expect that, some of these people from the business community would come in and say, we would love to sponsor your girls team, So that's what we're expecting. And based upon that expectation, we are looking to grow these teams and provide the girls and, both the men's and the women's program, these opportunities, man. So yeah, that's our expectation. We were fortunate this year to have 2 sponsors for our Division II team. And then I expect, also the fact that we're in Division I for next season, we would have people also wanted to be associated again with our men's team, considering they're playing in the top league now.
Mm-hmm. So about to coming to the conclusion, can you give us advices as the young athletes that want to explore some careers options beyond the athletics?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing that you guys, the youth, have opportunities is also, this goes back to what you were saying about what I was talking about, social networking and being, using people as a resource, is the internet. And you guys are very fluent in technology, like look at the setup that you guys got going on right now. And, the understanding of the optimization of, how to leverage and optimize the internet, through the use of social media and applications. So take advantage of that, you know what I'm saying? Take advantage of that and really, really move forward. Nowadays, majority of the good business models, you think of Amazon or Uber, Airbnb, you know what I'm saying? Yes. They're all things that, they're platforms that allow people to do services. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Both of those companies don't provide services. You know what I'm saying? So that's opportunity to harness the power of the internet. And then also just work hard. You know what I'm saying? Work hard. Try to identify opportunities and take advantage of the opportunities, and to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Be prepared. And mentoring is good, and getting experience, whether it's through internships or just job shadowing or being in the know. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Doing your own research. Okay, if you're looking into doing some kind of field or doing a major, you want to go in and delve into how does it work? 1, 2, 3, the basics, fundamentals, and why am I attracted to this? Why do I want to? Okay, then you can understand more about the ins and outs of it. So all that is available, and but it's going to come down to working hard, persevering, and that's it, man.
Coach, we thank you so much. We thank you so much for this opportunity.
Go ahead, shoot.
I'm going to ask you this as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like, tell us what advice do you wish you would have received, when you were still young, when you were younger?
I think financial advice. Yeah,
wow.
For me, because the financial decisions I make now are a lot different than the ones I did before.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? In terms of not just investing, in terms of valuing things, you know what I'm saying? What you value. For example, the stereotypical thing was when an NBA player comes to the NBA, what's he gonna do? Go shopping, buy a new car, buy a whole bunch of jewelry and stuff
customizing.
Like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's a stereotypical thing. So not that was me, but you could probably dumb that down, a massive amount down, but it was just not value. Those things are, okay, you have them, then you see them all now. They show up with a regular t-shirt and some weird little pants, and that's it. No jewelry, nothing, they don't value it anymore because they have the experience and stuff like that. So I think that's growth. But if you see them coming in as a rookie, they want to bling bling and to show.
Yeah.
In my case, like I said, understanding opportunities as well. Understanding opportunities. Real estate. I remember growing up in Seattle, Washington, and we had like two places that was like dangerous. You know, we had the Central District, which was like closer to downtown, and then we had the South End, which is about 30 minutes from downtown. And the Central District, growing up, was a drug infested, area of crime and violence, and it was very concentrated in that area. And of course, back then, places were cheap and houses were cheap. Yes. Fast forwarded to 30 years ago. Now, $1 million houses, you know what I'm saying? $1 million houses in a very sought after place where people want to live. 30 years ago, nobody would want to live.
Nobody would want to live.
Why you want to go live there? People are going to rob you. You might do this, you might do that. How your kids are going to go to school? It's unsafe. Now, Amazon came in, set their corporate office.
Things change very quick.
All the things said. Yeah. So also saw the same thing in Atlanta. The west end of Atlanta, very, very where T.I. is from and all these rappers from the west end of Atlanta. There's a Martin Luther King Drive that divides West Atlanta, and then they had the Georgia Dome where they hold a lot of like the Super Bowl and NCAA games there. To just across the street, very, very, very impoverished area. Both of those went through transformations, and that area has caught up. 15 years ago, even 10 years ago, nobody want to live there. Right across the street, they have $1 billion American football team stadium. Yeah. So again, you see this again. You know what I'm saying? So I saw that. So what I'm doing, I'm looking for those type of opportunities now. I want to see where somebody doesn't want to live, like example in Kigali. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Kibagabaga, Kimiharu, Kivu, Kiyovu. Oh, these are nice places, okay? If I was gonna make an investment into Kigali right now, I would want to know where nobody's gonna live, and the price is dirt cheap. You know what I'm saying? I would want to buy in those areas, wait 3 or 5 years, and then you know what I'm saying. You would get the value of understanding and taking advantage of the opportunity. Yes. Niamata Burgesera District is the perfect example of that. The airport's going to be built. You know what I'm saying? This is a future thing. Imagine when hotels and roads and commerce and landings and logistics go around, what's going to happen to that area? More jobs, people are going to be staying in that thing, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, look into that.
Yes. You heard it right, that we have to work hard to...
definitely work hard.
To meet our ambitions, our future, our behind that, our talents, you feel me?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So about get finished to our podcast. We have to thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Good conversation. Yeah, man. You guys always have great ideas and ambitions and stuff. So it's very nice speaking with you guys.
Thank you. Yeah. And you come to support the Azomco Global. Yeah. They have a game tomorrow, 6 p.m. And on Friday.
And follow us on Azomco Global on Instagram.
On Instagram, Azomco Global.
And description.
Yeah, for sure.